you are super busy. So I'm going to keep this short and walk you through what you need to look for if you're working with a marketing agency to determine if they're doing a good job or not. And I am going to be going inside the Google accounts and Facebook accounts here to show you, so that you can determine if you need to pick a different one. And if you do need to pick a different one, I hope that you will speak to me. I'll do a full audit on your account and see what I can do to help. I've spent $100 million on ads. I have a ton of case studies I can show you. So if you decide you do want some additional expert help on your ads and looking into them or making them better and making sure they convert and bring in sales, book a call below this video. So let's jump right into it. Now, typically there's many ad platforms. You can audit each of them, but the main two I want to talk about for the sake of this is Google ads or Facebook ads. And the reason is those are just the two biggest ad platforms that most marketing agencies are going to work with businesses on. So let's start with Google ads. So if we head over to Google ads, I want to show you what to look for. And rule number one, if your agency doesn't let you see your Google ad accounts, you do need to fire them, because any good agency is going to let you have ownership of your accounts so that there is complete transparency and complete integrity and complete honesty of what's going on. And if you ever decide not to work with them, which is your free will, you have the ability to easily move on because you own the accounts. So biggest warning sign, you don't have access to your accounts. You have to take them at their word. Not a good business move because they're spending your money, period. I've never seen an agency that's actually good hide their ad accounts from their clients and make it so they can't access it. It is a scammy tactic. So if they don't let you see your ad account and you feel like something's wrong, something is definitely wrong, because you should be able to see your ad account so you can determine exactly how well they're performing. So let's go in here. This is my agency account for Google. And let's just go to this client right here. This is a client that I work for on a pro bono basis / commission arrangement. They don't have a huge ad spend, and they target a small area in Texas. So I want to walk you through what to look for on Google ads. The first thing that you need to look at is conversion actions. Are they properly set up? Are they counting the correct conversions? To do that, you're going to go to goal, you're going to go to conversions, and you're going to go to summary. Goal, conversions, summary. And then right here, you're going to see the conversion actions. You can see that this conversion action is set to go on page load. So somebody's going to fill out the form on their website, and it's going to count as a conversion. This conversion is going to count as a phone call from the ad. Generally, a phone call from Google or somebody filling out a lead form is a great sign. I can actually see here that this needs attention. The developer that set this up did a bad job. So I actually don't have clear sight into this. And in this case, I would be doing a bad job. But here's the main thing that you actually want to look for. What you want to look for is that you're not getting conversions counted that aren't a submit lead or a call from an ad. Because a lot of times an agency will attempt to pad their numbers by including things like a location search or things like a less than ideal conversion. That is not someone contacting you. And that will pad their numbers and actually make it look like they're doing a better job than they actually are. Let me go over here and I'll give you an example. So this is a company that working with an agency. Again, they weren't allowed to see their Google accounts. And for example, the agency had things like get directions and page view shown as the primary conversion action. You can see here, let's see, working with, okay, yeah, so some of them are working. And the ones that aren't working are the ones that are not supposed to. We actually had to work with a third-party developer to make sure this was set up correctly. Because the previous agency was showing somebody going to the website as a primary conversion, which means they're like, hey, look, we got you all these conversions. And you're like, hey, my phone's not ringing, So you want to make sure these are set up correctly. And the way you'll be able to tell is that phone call lead and then submit lead form are both set as primary. If you come down to anything else like contact or get directions or engagement, and it's set up as primary as well, which we're not even tracking these because it's impossible because we don't have a physical location. So you can see it's not counting conversions at all. That's how you want it, right? If it says, hey, we had 100 local actions and 100 website visits, and it's showing that you have 200 conversions, but your phone's not ringing, you're not making sales, huge red flag, okay? Number 2 that you want to look for when you're trying to optimize a account and make sure it's set up well is that there is proper search term management or exclusions. And let me explain. When you're looking at your ads, you got to imagine it like the top of a lake. And that water in that lake is your money, and it gets funneled down into sales, right? And so the best way to maximize these conversions and maximize these the bang for your buck, or like the way that your money is going to flow to get you conversions, especially when it comes to Google search, is doing proper search term optimization. Now, what that means is somebody's coming in here every week. You go to campaign, insights, search terms, and looking at these search terms to see what are the best search terms and what are the worst ones, and are the worst ones getting excluded. Now, for this particular campaign, it obviously has not spent a lot of money, and so there's nothing excluded. But if we go to like the overall account, you can see things like competitors' names being excluded. Obviously, that's not a targeted lead. Again, competitor's name, here's one. We'll add that as a negative keyword. And just basically, a good agency is going to be in here excluding these every week or 2 weeks. If you don't have these excluded, what that means is you're wasting money. You're wasting money on terms that are not right for you. And it's very easy to go through and exclude these. As you can see, it literally just takes a few minutes, and they should be doing it every week. If they're not, red flag, you need to fire them. Okay, number 3, the account looks schizophrenic. And what I mean is, it looks crazy, right? So you can see that in this account, everything is clearly labeled and clearly organized. You have your brand campaign, your core plumbing services campaign, a performance max campaign to increase brand lift, a plumbing services campaign, a residential core plumbing services campaign, a sewer lining campaign, and a call only campaign. And the great thing about it being set up like this is that it's clean. What you don't want is something that's not clean. It'll have like a million campaigns in here. Some will be turned off, some will be turned on. And it's because the person that's running it doesn't know what they're doing. And they are basically bleeding your money because they don't know what they're doing. They're just throwing stuff at the wall to see what sticks and honestly hoping for the best. And that is not a way to run an ad account. It should be clean. It should be descriptive of what each campaign is. And it should not look schizophrenic at all. In fact, I can give you an example of what that would look like over here. And this is actually an account I run, but I can make it look schizophrenic. So just give me a second. And the first thing you're going to notice here, let me see, is that the conversions are way off. This is due to a limitation of their developer software. So there's nothing I can do for that, but actually have it count the closest thing to a conversion. Dealers have weird software solutions, and that's why it's like this. But this works well. This particular company doubled their revenue year over year just with proper ad management. So you can see everything is labeled. I know what everything is, but let's say everything wasn't labeled and it looked a lot like this. You'd be like, oh my goodness, what is happening in here? What are these pause things? Why is all this on? Like, what is going on? It would look a lot more schizophrenic. You can see there's dates, brands, the different types of campaigns, etc. And so if it's not set up and it doesn't look organized, your ads probably aren't. Again, big red flag. So if you have any of those red flags, conversion action problems, no search term management or exclusions, your account looks schizophrenic, these are signs of someone that doesn't know what they're doing. And I'm running out of time because I promised to do this in 15 minutes. So let me go over to Facebook. Facebook ads, low click-through rate. What do I mean by low? Typically under 1.5%, depending on the niche. Like if it's a really niche thing, like engineers, it's going to be at under 1.5%. So let me show you an example. I feel the pressure. Okay, wait. Infantile. Okay, cool. So you can see here, set this to maximum. All right. This account, we actually started off with message testing, and it is a niche account targeting architects and engineers. And the CTRs are honestly not bad for how small the niche is. So it's a poor example, but what you would see over here is bad CTRs. So let me see if I can find an account. This account could use better CTRs, but they're making money on sales. So we're able to see actually how much money we're generating. So let me pull this up and see if I can find a couple ads. But what you're going to do is you're going to set this comp right here to performance and clicks. It's going to pull up your CTRs, and you're going to be able to see your CTRs. If you have an account and it's got low CTRs, just like all this, under 1, and let's say it's all like just terrible, that's a good sign that your ads are not being optimized. You can see this company is making purchases. Some of the higher than others, they are making plenty of money. So some of the lower CTR ads are on. But if you see low CTRs, it means the ads aren't relevant. And if they aren't trying to change it, they're never going to be relevant, right? And so you want to make sure, number 2, that your ads aren't confusing to consumers. And how could you do that? Well, typically what works is things that are to the point and clear, right? So here's an example of one of these companies' softwares. They got the video and it tells you what it does right out of the gate. If you're like, I met with a guy the other day. It was for a vacation club. He had an agency running his ads. He had an offer of giving a free cruise for everyone that came on the call. And the ad was all about the free cruise and nothing about the vacation club. And he was confused as to why nobody was showing up, right? And it's because the ads didn't make sense. The video didn't make sense. The primary text right here didn't make sense, and the headline didn't make sense. So you want to make sure your ads make sense and that a consumer knows exactly what they're clicking over to see. And that's what's going to lead to purchases, right? Purchases. So make sure your ads are clear. Facebook ads, warning sign number 3. You're not getting targeted leads and you're not getting sales. You're getting a lot of spam leads and not real leads. It's a red flag. Okay. And you know, if you're getting spam leads, you see it when it comes to the website or on your instant form. There are plenty of tools out there to filter out leads. And then warning flag number 4 is no targeting. Every account that I have running on here, every single one, which is probably 30 or 40, they all use targeting on their ads because it works. Now, here's how you check that. You're going to click into you're going to click right there. Then you're going to click ad sets, and then you're going to look at your ads. If they don't have targeting, run for the hills. I know that you'll hear people say, no, you don't have to use targeting. You do. Unless you're spending $250,000 a week on Facebook, you have to use targeting. And if there's no targeting here under this audience section in the ad set, that's a red flag. They are burning your money, man. That's why you can't get people on the call. That's why you can't get sales. Okay, so make sure you have targeting. These are just the top 6 or 7 reasons why you should fire your agency if they can't do these basic things. If you want a full in-depth audit where I can go in your account and see every single thing that's not optimized correctly based off my 17 years of marketing experience and in the last 6 or 7 years experience on ads, specifically spending $100 million, then fill out your information below and schedule a time to talk. I'll definitely go through your accounts and see if I can help. And I would love to work with you. Thank you. 15 minutes, 8 seconds. I finished early, but there's the pitch. Bye.